Every Amazon seller knows that product reviews are important when selling on Amazon. But how do you get reviews nowadays, and what exactly do the Amazon terms of service say regarding reviews? That's what I'm going to discuss in this video. So hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Alright, hey, today let's talk about reviews on Amazon. So raising your Amazon review game, do's and don'ts in 2023. And by the way, there was not related with reviews, but there was a good discussion on Slack regarding not having the time to do everything. For example, if all your time and is going to managing your business and your like part-time VAs or whatever, all the time just goes there, meaning that you don't have the time to find new products, then I mean that is a problem, because all of us, it doesn't matter if you're just starting out or you've been selling for years or you've been selling for almost a decade like we have been. And the point is that, I mean, all of us need to be launching new products. And the reason is that if you basically, there's only two options: you either grow or you shrink. So there's really no maintenance thing. So one of the most innovative companies in the world, like 3M, the company who also made the Post-its, I mean, they have this assumption that whatever works today, whatever is the best selling product today, is not going to be alive tomorrow anymore. So imagine like when the company has this kind of a mindset, then it obviously means that they're going to be launching new products all the time. And that's why you see so many new products from this company. But yeah, I mean, as Amazon sellers, we should have the same kind of mindset that we need to be launching new products all the time. And like I mentioned all the time, that two things to really get right in 2023 are is speed. So you need to be able to launch ideas quickly. And second thing is that you need to launch multiple products. So you cannot expect that just to release like one product per year and expect that to become like $1 million business. No, I mean, we need to be launching multiple products. I mean, all of us. And what does that have to do with time? But the thing is that if you don't have time to find new products or whatever, I mean, then that's the whole point. That's why I'm preaching that you need to get like helps. You need to get multiple helps to help you out. So multiple hands to help you out. So that means that's why we hire like virtual assistants that can do all their work for us, because that's really the way that we get more time to ourselves. So that means that then we are able to spend our time on more like valuable things. And one thing I really encourage you to do, like when you have people working for you, is that make your VAs, remote VAs or whatnot, and make them do experiments for you and make them do presentations for you. I mean, give them the ownership that they need to be teaching you and not vice versa. Because if you are the one doing all the teaching all the time, then everything's just going to be depend on you, and there's not going to be any innovation, because everyone is just thinking that we have that business owner and he knows everything. So I mean that's not the right thing to do, unless you want the business to solely depend on you. And if the business depends on you, then you have to be there like every day, 24/7 pretty much. So I make all the team members to constantly run experimentation, constantly like do presentations for me. And that also applies to these presentations, like this coaching call presentation. I'm actually having my team to do all these for me. And of course, I mean, they present it to me and say, then I give feedback that, no, that's not good. No, that doesn't make any sense. But the point is that when I make them do that, it also elevates their skill set. It builds mastery for them. So that's what I strongly encourage you to do. Like, make your team members, make your VAs to do presentations and experiments on your behalf. All right, cool. But yeah, let's talk about reviews. So today, let's talk about factors affecting reviews and how to get reviews and bad practices to avoid, and then policies in 2023. So, I mean, why do we need to have reviews? Well, I mean, obviously there's the social proof. And it doesn't mean that, I mean, so many, I think too many people, I mean, some people just get too much fixated on these review things that, oh, I don't have any reviews, so I cannot make any sales. No, I mean, you are able to make sales even if you have 0 reviews, but that just means that, for example, advertising, it's just going to cost more. You're just going to pay higher price per click because, I mean, the trust factor is not there. So social proof means that there's someone else who has already used the product and like given some positive review and feedback about it. So that really builds trust and credibility with the target audience. And then, I mean, obviously the Amazon algorithm, I mean, it takes into various factors, and I mean, reviews is really just one part of it, but still, I mean, it makes an impact on ranking as well. So that's why we not want to get positive reviews, as we are more likely to be ranking higher in the search results. And obviously, like, if our product has 1-star reviews, then it's just gonna hurt our conversion rate. So how many people who visit our product listing are going to click the buy button. So one key thing in getting higher conversion rate is really, I mean, having positive reviews, right? So yeah, obviously. And another thing is that, like last time I talked about that, how you can just basically build your listing based on the product reviews, and with ChatGPT and Helium, I mean, you can do it in just minutes. So that's a really fast way to do that. But I mean, it also like provides us like valuable feedback how we can really improve the product. And well, like customer service, I guess, too. But the main thing is that the whole user experience, like when they get our product in their hands, then what happens and so on. So, I mean, we can find areas of improvement and so on. Yeah, makes sense. So what are the factors that affect visibility and credibility of reviews on Amazon? So, I mean, obviously the number of reviews, and the more we have reviews, the better. But after a certain point, it kind of like loses its meaning. For example, okay, I mean, does it make sense? Does it make that a big difference anymore if the product has like 1,000 reviews, 10,000 reviews, 20,000 reviews? I mean, after a certain point, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really add any. It doesn't really make that big of a difference anymore. But
as far as the algorithms go, though, are you aware of any critical review quantities? Hey, do you feel like the algorithm starts giving it less impact after, say, like 20 reviews?
Well, I mean, the thing it always is about relevance, meaning that it's about search terms. So that means that, okay, what are other people doing there? So we don't need to be perfect. We just need to be better than everyone else on the keyword, right?
Yeah, I was just like asking if you are aware of the A9 treating. Is there like a critical review level? So
no, but this is actually also one thing, the recency, meaning that if we got like 1,000 reviews a year ago and we haven't got a single review this year, then I mean that is gonna make an impact.
Yeah, I get the general point too. Like, but I personally, I try to prioritize to get 20 reviews as soon as possible,
Yeah, yeah,
10,
yeah.
20. So I was just wondering, have you noticed any trend? Who knows, right? But 10, 20 is
Well,
probably,
yeah. If you are talking about going from zero, then yes. I mean, obviously, I mean, you need to get to that 15, 20 reviews as quickly as
mm,
possible. But because that's also because of the advertising, meaning that if we have just like 7 reviews, I mean, our cost per click is gonna be pretty high because the trust factor is
yeah,
not there. And then, I mean, once advertising starts working on your behalf, meaning that you get like lower clicks, then that impacts like the general visibility and so on. So
yeah.
it's
It's
so that
again, yeah. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. So that way it is kind of like this snowball thing, meaning that have to do many things right, and you
Uh,
cannot just rely on.
there's also one thing like some people once kind of warned about if you get too many reviews um, in relative to the total ordered quantity at that time, then Amazon would somehow red flag it,
Yeah.
so it's suspicious. Maybe you'll get to that later.
No, I
I
mean
won't
that's a
interrupt
really
you before.
relevant point. If everyone, or even just every other person who buys your product gives a review, then
Yeah,
that's a red flag.
yeah, you gotta be aware of that.
Yeah, yeah. So
But to your knowledge, you're not like aware of any, hard numbers technically that definitely do get over 20 or yeah,
uh,
let's not get stuck to that. I was just
yeah,
thinking aloud more like
but the thing is that yeah, I mean get those 20 reviews as like for a new product, and I'm not talking about test products. I'm talking about like okay, once we have a listing that we are just going to be pushing forward, then I mean we need to get yeah, I mean 20 reviews as quick as possible. But I mean, we can do those. Let's say that we don't have any list or anything like this. I mean, then that just means we need to do a bit of a more manual work, meaning that we build connections to different people in order to like get people to buy the product and then give a review. But I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna give you one tactic that you can do straight away if you don't. Let's say that you don't know anyone in the US and you don't know like anyone who has ever bought anything from Amazon or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, recency and yeah, credibility. I mean, that's why we have those like verified purchases, and then there's different votes and anyway. But one thing is that if you're not talking about any kind of like impact that we would do, let's just say that the general population, I mean, what are the most common thing like people give a review for? I mean, it's gonna be addressing the quality issues, and that's the thing. Like, let's say that you make this whole launch, big launch, let's say big bang old school launch, and you get the product live there, and then boom, you're starting to get bad reviews, and it's all related with quality. I mean, that's the most difficult thing to fix if you have quality issues. And when you do the research, like you're simply not, it's simply not feasible to like cover all different aspects that can go wrong. For example, we had this one wooden product. So we did all the quality inspections and everything like this, and everything was fine and everything looked good. But once we actually shipped it from overseas to US, I mean, it takes a while. Then when it actually arrived to Amazon and people started ordering, and it like the customers got the product, then what has happened? The wood had actually shrunk. So obviously, I mean, we are getting like negative reviews for that. And okay, fine, we couldn't foresee this in the research thing, but then there it's gonna be things like this that why we need to do these like test product launches first with the smaller quantity, because there's going to be surprises along the way that you
actually,
cannot
actually
take into
related to that,
account.
are you aware of, let's say you have like a Rockstar ASIN to which you start adding variations, right? And for some reason, one of the variations started getting bad reviews. And so how do you feel it'll affect the parent ASIN or the original ASIN whose reviews you are kind of writing on?
I mean, the parent is just a...
Yeah, I mean, it just popped in my mind is how risky it is to write on those old ASINs for the visibility they get. Because if, say, one variation starts getting a lot of bad reviews, then will it kind of sink down the original parent ASIN as well? Or can you just break the what do you call it, the parent parent-child connection? If you just break it, will it not affect the parent ASIN anymore?
Well, I mean, there's basically no parent, because the parent is just a container. I mean, it's not a listing itself. The variations are the listings.
Right.
So meaning that then it was given to a certain variations, all these negative reviews. So you could like technically just break the relationship and just cut it off.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to check that. Thanks.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing, that there is no parent listing. It's just a container, and the container itself doesn't have any. I mean, the container kind of exists without without variations, or I mean, without the children, right? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's but the thing is that if we get these negative reviews or whatever, I mean, we want to get those already in the test product phase, the test launch phase, because let's say that we have hundreds of units, maybe even 1,000 units in the Amazon warehouse, and then boom, we just got a couple of one-star reviews, and oh no, there's a fifth one already. Then I mean, that's gonna be painful to fix that issue, and it might be that we are just not able to fix it. I mean, because the sales just like ended overnight, which means that okay, we would need to get like lots of like 5-star reviews if we are not able to get rid of the 1-star reviews. And well, I mean, shipping, delivery, I mean, that's, if you get that kind of review, I mean, then that's not part of product review, then you can just ask Amazon to remove it. And since you're using like fulfillment by Amazon, and then it's Amazon's responsibility anyway. So let's talk about like how to get these reviews. So one thing is that, I mean, requesting a review, I mean, it's just something that you can do, and it just sends a message to the buyer by Amazon and asking to leave a review for the product. And but the thing is that once you do this, then you cannot send any further message to the customer like regarding that order. So Amazon really limits the number of messages that we can send to customers to prevent spam and to provide a better customer experience. And it's funny, like I didn't really see this so much from the customer's point of view before I moved to California, because I mean, I live in Finland and Philippines, and Amazon, I mean, wasn't really, especially in the Philippines, I mean, you cannot really use Amazon because everything gets stuck in the customs, and there's also stuff. But once I moved here, I kind of realized that how big part of Amazon is of the society. So I mean, online, every second order goes to Amazon, and it's just so convenient. So one thing that I like overheard, like people saying that, oh, I mean, all this, when you order something, then Amazon just keeps asking you tons of time this review. And I mean, nobody understood that it's actually the seller usually who's asking these reviews. And people don't even know that it's third-party sellers like us selling these products. Not they all think, the customers think that it's just Amazon who is selling these products. So there's a limitations on this. And then wine program, yeah, I mean that's one way to do it. And then follow-up messages, meaning that using different kinds of tools to just request these reviews. But product, I mean, regardless of reviews or whatnot, I mean, you should definitely use product inserts, if not for reviews. But the point is also to build your like customer database, your customer information, because I mean, it's so limited what we can get from Amazon, but that's why we want to be able to reach these people in other ways than just messaging them on Amazon. And that also means for like repeat business. So meaning that we get people to buy. But one thing is that, I mean, just think about the threshold that if you buy a product and then you open the packaging and everything, and then there's some flyer listing this different URL, then what is required for you to go either on your phone or on your laptop and start like typing that URL? And sure, you can use QR codes, but I think still a lot of people just don't know even how to use those, or they don't have, or they don't, their device doesn't support an easy way how to use that code. So what is the likelihood that you're going to do that? So it's going to be pretty slim unless you have very good incentive why they should do that. So meaning that if you just give that, hey, you get a 10% off from your next order. No, that's just going to go to the trash, or 20% or 50%. No, it has to be something really convincing, like why should they do that? Yeah, Christopher, did you have a question?
No, I just said ironically, going to VIP club is not really a thing anymore. Is it?
Yeah, but I don't think it ever really was. So only thing, by the way, I mean, it really depends on the product. I mean, there's been different ways like lifetime warranty, but who needs a lifetime warranty for some product that costs like, I don't know, $50 or less? Or then VIP club, then okay, but what do you get out of being a member of that club? I mean, typically, I mean, it's not going to be enough in order to do that. So I mean, I wouldn't say that this has changed drastically. No, I mean, it has been this for the whole past decade at least, because the threshold is just so high from looking at a piece of paper and then just starting to type a URL. But one thing that has always worked well, I mean, are different kinds of Amazon gift cards like raffles and stuff like that. But then, I mean, you just need to do it ethically, meaning that you need to mention there that it's a raffle, so it's not like a actual gift card they get, which of course is going to lower the conversion, right? So, but it really depends on the product, and what really makes a good enough offer for people to do that. But yeah, so that's actually, this is, if you don't know anyone in the US and you don't know anyone who could actually order your product on Amazon, so this is actually one way I recommend you to do in order to get the reviews. But the thing is that this takes quite a bit of time. But I mean, in the beginning, you need to get those 20 reviews. So you just basically need 20 people who are like willing to do that. And one thing is that you can never like incentivize people to give a review, but you can always say that you can always ask for honest feedback. So there's not a problem in asking for honest feedback, right? So yeah, expats like me. So expat means expatriate, the person who resides outside their native country. So that means people like me, for example, people living, Finnish people living in California or US. And why expats? Any guess why expats is a good group? Well, the reason is that typically, like let's say that let's talk about Finnish people since I'm Finnish. So Finnish people in Finland, like when they're in the same town, and they're in the same town, maybe in the same street, what do they usually look for? I mean, or they usually state, they're gonna state that, I mean, I have nothing in common with, like they are looking for things that they do not have in common with people. But when you take that same person, same group of people, far away from their home country, far away from their culture, then they are actually going to be looking for people who, it's kind of switched their mind that they're actually looking for people with things that are in common with them, meaning that, oh, you are also from Europe. Oh, you're also from the Nordics. Oh, wow, you're from Finland. Oh, wow, you're even from the same town as me. And it's, wow, the same street. I mean, then you would have those two same people in Finland say that they have nothing in common with each other. But if you take those people to, for example, US, they see that, oh, we have so many things in common. So one thing is that, like, what happens to the expat is that when you move outside your home country and culture, then it forces you to kind of like open up. So you are much more open to new relationships, meaning that if you get a message from some stranger then you're most likely to get a better response and really like start building a relationship with them. The thing is that one good way how to really completely mess this up is just to go to these, for example, Finnish expat groups and start like direct messaging them, and then just send one long message saying that, hey, I'm an Amazon seller and looking for people to give feedback for my products. I mean, that's the same as just going to a bar, and it doesn't matter whether you're female or male, but let's say that you go to someone and you just tell them that, hey, let's get married. I mean, you will seem completely crazy person, and there's no likelihood that like many people would say, yes, let's do that. Let's get married.
I've been doing it all wrong.
I want to marry a complete stranger, right? Sorry, what's that?
No, just saying I've been doing it all wrong all these years.
Yeah, but the thing is that this is like completely, that's a completely wrong. I mean, it's the same thing as you just ask people to marry. Like that's the first message or first thing that you tell people. So that's not how sales works. So sales is also like building relationships, meaning that, and another common mistake is that people go to these groups and then just post saying that, hey, everyone, I'm an Amazon seller, I would like to blah, 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 blah. What of course will happen is that most likely the admin will just ban you from the group. Boom. So much better way is that you just look at the people who are in that group and start building a relationship. So that means that you do not send this one long message to them. Instead, you just start the discussion like one message at a time, like one sentence at a time. Like, hey, I noticed you live in the US. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? And don't send anything more than that. Just send that simple message, because that already like builds curiosity. I wonder what this guy wants. And of course, here comes the difference between an expat. So expat is, like I mentioned, more open to new relationships. So they're going to be more curious that, hey, I wonder what this person wants. So then you start asking that, hey, yeah, they say that, yeah, sure, you can go ahead. So do you have an Amazon account? Yeah. And because most people who live in the US have Amazon account. So have you ordered any products from Amazon? Yeah, I mean, I do order products from Amazon all the time. So I actually have a product to sell on Amazon. Oh, really? What kind of product? And blah 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 blah. So you basically start building the relationship from there. Does it make sense? But that's what I mean. That this effort takes a bit of time. I mean, it 100% works, but it takes more time than just like than the other techniques. But if you don't know anyone in the US, if you don't have an email list, if you don't have any way how you can get reviews, then I recommend to do this approach because, I mean, it definitely works.
Yeah, I could see one like hiring someone else do this on your behalf, even one of the VAs. But I'm just I wonder, how do you arrange the payment system? How do you reimburse the orders they'll make?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but you can use any way that is like feasible in
Still,
that sense.
yeah, it's just
But
apparently
the thing
Amazon
is
is
that
known. Amazon
it's
is,
not gonna happen if before you have built trust with them. So
well, yeah,
that's why
but
you
just
need to
technically,
pay.
how do you arrange the payment? Because I've heard Amazon actually uh, does somehow directly or indirectly monitor the transactions, and it might devoid the review or even your selling account. Maybe if there's if they notice transactions between the customer and the seller prior to
Yeah,
review.
like come on, like they have no visibility on your bank transfers or
Yeah,
whatever.
they do actually. Amazon that just this year got an access uh, to the bank account of the sellers. But yeah, that's not a big concern. But in any way, how do you use PayPal, or how do you approach them? Or just ask them to first order? I know it's a technical thing, but I'm sure it's very relevant to many. How do you come up with the um, transaction thing? Will you pay
I
them up
mean,
front
let's
using
say that
PayPal
you use
or?
your like personal bank account and you just like transfer like money to a other person. I mean, there is zero. If you use your personal bank account or whatever, I mean, there's zero
Mm,
visibility on Amazon then. So I mean, just do it in such a way that um, that there is no
yeah, I mean,
visibility.
it's they're small sums anyway, because you're just paying for the products. It's not a big risk anyway.
Yeah, and I think actually many things, actually many people would be happy just to support small business owners if there's the relationship and if the product doesn't cost like
Yeah.
hundreds of dollars and if the product is actually good and useful and whatnot, right?
I'm just yeah, I'm just generally paranoid because back in the day at least, if somebody, I know you don't need to friend them right off the bat, of course, but there have been cases when Amazon friends have given reviews and possibly that triggered something on Amazon, you know, devoiding those reviews or whatever.
Yeah, but my
Maybe I'm a
point was
little
that
paranoid, but there's Amazon has its tentacles all over the place these days.
yeah, but my point is that if you use a method that has no visibility,
I mean, there are some minds that one has to be aware of, just technically, because the algorithm may pick that those reviews are somehow, even if they were done in good faith, of course, it doesn't matter. So, are you aware of any big no-nos when it comes to requesting reviews outside Amazon? And
uh,
maybe it doesn't even exist anymore, the phenomenon that if a Facebook friend gave a review for you, then they
yeah, I
might have
remember
compared
this
the
talk,
names of the seller, for instance. I don't know.
but I never actually saw any evidence of this or
All right.
it happening. But anyway, it's better safe than sorry, which means
Yeah,
that
definitely.
you can just
I've never done that myself. Once I actually, the one time I've been a bad boy in this sense was once I think it was using, it was Fiverr or something. Yeah, I had some guy actually do the product photography, and the images themselves were crappy. But at the end, I asked the guy to give me a review because he had, of course, ordered the product from me. That was kind of a guerrilla tactic when it comes to reviews because I only paid, like $20 for those fixtures. So that worked back then. But I was just careful not to use my own name or credit card because the payment was done via the Fiverr platform. So
Yeah.
I've been very careful with that, not to flag my selling account.
And one thing is that, I mean, you don't need to even, I didn't say that you add these people as your friends, meaning that,
No.
let's say that they don't notice the message request thing, but I mean, it's pretty visible, but let's say that they don't message, then still you can, I mean, if you see them commenting on whatever post, you can just like reply there that, hey, send you a DM, so that they will check the message.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big concern, just something, I guess, to be aware of. To have some sort of situational awareness when you do communications and using your credit card with your own name.
Yes, and one
common
thing
sense
to
will go a long
emphasize
way
that
here.
this, since this is time consuming, this is not something that you, I mean, this is something to just get your feet wet or off the ground, so that you get those initial ones. But I mean, I wouldn't use this, because the point is that, like, once you really build your customer list, then, I mean, those are the people who you can basically bombard and keep
definitely
nagging, right? All right. But anyway, any other questions about this expat?
Do you guys use any CRM systems like HubSpot or something like that?
Well,
customer?
we do use ClickFunnels.
ClickFunnels, okay. Yeah. But that's it.
Well, I guess it depends what do you count as a CRM, but
or sending messages and stuff like that.
Yes. So I mean, we do have like
automatically
many chat and stuff kind of stuff. But I mean, emails we do all send from ClickFunnels.
Okay, yeah. Thanks.
So ClickFunnels is hooked to SendGrid, which then actually sends the email. All right. Yeah, and here's another tactic is price launch, meaning that when launching your new, but here's the thing is that you need to take into consideration always the Amazon terms of service and also the algorithm, like what impacts the algorithm. But anyway, so that's kind of a bit of a disclaimer there. So when launching a new product, you may consider implementing this price launch strategy, which involves gradually reducing the price over several weeks. Mainly you can do hefty ones like 50, 40, or 30% per week. So this can actually help increasing the likelihood of getting like organic reviews from customers who purchase the product at this lower price. But thing is that you just need to consider that the terms of service. So I mean, whenever we are, and actually typically the algorithm likes like when you lower the price, but it's not going to like when you do increases. I mean, when you do drastic increases like 50%, I mean that's pretty drastic already. But anyway, let's say that you have done this and you would want to get back to the same thing, then I mean it just means that you have to get there gradually. So you don't do big increase straight away. But I mean decreases, that's usually fine, and that's a good way how to just get.
Does the new system affect this? So
Sorry?
Forget what it. There's a new modification to the pricing system. I think because you have to set some sort of, I forget the word or term. I think it's called like. Basically, upon creating a new ASIN, you have to give the basic price, the original price, Are you aware?
the
Do you know the
discount
system?
price, then the AMS
Yeah, I
RP,
mean,
so the manufacturer's suggested retail price.
anyhow, the system that has been implemented this year, I think it's a little different than the original one. But I don't know, maybe if you just put the original price as, I don't know. I think that the whole point of the system is that you can't like drop the price ridiculously much.
But
Maybe
one thing is also is, using these different kinds of coupons. Point is that we just want to
coupons are expensive though.
Want to get people to buy the product for lower price, but then there's the terms of service. So whenever doing this, you need to check out what's the latest guideline in this terms of service, because they do make changes pretty frequently. And another aspect is that, like, if you are planning to do any kind of lightning deals, prime deals, or whatever in the future, then you need to, it's based on the lowest price. Was it like past 6 months or something like this? So that's something that you need to take into consideration, because if you lower the price for a certain period, then that's going to be counted as the bottom, and it's basically, it's going to be a percentage of that bottom lowest price, right? Yes, but most common violation is incentivizing reviews, and this is why those 50,000 Chinese sellers were kicked out of the platform. And then, like, asking friends and family, no, you shouldn't do that. So Amazon doesn't like it, and will actually suspend the account if caught. And it makes sense, any kind of review. That
again comes down like, how do they pick those friends and families? The family is kind of easy if you have the same mailing address, but the friends, that's where the Amazon's big brother comes in, I guess.
Yeah. And name, there's especially, there's many people with the same name, so even that doesn't. So I'm sure they have some kind of way how they like approach this. Like, how do they define that, hey, this is a friend of yours, this is a family of yours, or this is a colleague of yours? But you will definitely know if you get a warning. Then you realize, what have I done? So no use of review clubs, no buying of reviews. That's a big no. And then ask specifically for positive reviews, meaning that, you see these being violated all the time, meaning that, like, I noticed this product inserts which say that, hey, if you love the product, then give a review. Okay, so no, you cannot do that. So it's a different thing that how easily Amazon actually can notice it. But point is that be in this game for long term, and don't take any shortcuts, because it might happen that your account or the list, or your account gets suspended for a while, and then that means you're not going to be making any sales during that period. Yeah. So Amazon has a zero tolerance policy towards any customer reviews violations. So that includes any kind of review manipulation. So what they're listing here is that it basically says that using these variations just to manipulate reviews, or then these seller inserts, what we just talked about, requesting a positive review, or obviously you cannot like write on competitors' products. But yeah, any questions about this topic? And obviously, you cannot post reviews of your own product or competitors' products either. I recommend that you don't, with your Amazon account, don't do any reviews at all. And any kind of incentivizing financial rewards, discounts, free products in exchange for a review. If you like this topic, then hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to get help regarding selling on Amazon or have any kind of questions, then don't hesitate to reach out and let's have a chat. Talk to you soon.